Hey there, everybody. I'm back for another video. Might be boring one, might be interesting. I don't know. Um, anyways, on one of my previous videos, I was talking about that app Whatnot and how I bought a few things from Whatnot, but a lot of times, I don't know, basically maybe due to the nature of that the auctions are super quick, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and just the excitement of doing a quick auction, how a lot of cards seem to go for more than they would just buying them on eBay or somewhere else, and you can occasionally get a good deal. And then right after I said that, I got some pretty good deals. I think I didn't take advantage of the seller too much. I'll tell you the story. So I'm pretty sure he's a guy who sells modern cards generally, and he said that he found these boxes he bought at a flea market like 10 years ago that he forgot about, and they had a bunch of vintage stuff. So he was going to sell them. He knew the big names, but he didn't know a lot about vintage. Um, when he came across a Tommy John card, he was like, Tommy John? And so I typed in the chat, yeah, that's the guy that had the surgery the first time. And he was like, I didn't know there was a guy. I learned something new. We were having a cool conversation. He was obviously younger than I was, and he was appreciating my bit of knowledge I have about baseball and vintage cards. So, um, when he did ask on one card, I don't think it was anything too valuable. It was like a 72 Hank Aaron. He asked me specifically, hey, is this kind of a more expensive one? Maybe I shouldn't be running it and only selling it for $2 or $3. And I was honest and I said, yeah, it's moderately valuable. It's not like a 1950s or 60s Hank Aaron, but why don't you hang on to that one and don't sell it for too cheap. So I tried to be honest with him. But on the other hand, he was like, I know these cards are probably going for a little bit cheap, but I'm just going to get rid of them. Have at it. He seemed to be fine with it. So I was getting $5 to $10 cards for $2 to $4, I guess. And some other people were bidding and buying, but some of the time there weren't that many people in there. So, he got, I feel like I was pretty honest and was buying a lot of stuff from him, and it worked out pretty well for both of us. But anyways, while he was doing it, he had this box that he was pulling cards from with star players, Hall of Famers, and then at one point he said, oh, okay, I have these two other boxes. They say 1972, 1973, and 1974 tops. So I suggested, hey, go pull out the 1972 cards. Let's have a look. And he showed like 20 of them, and they were just commons. So we decided that whoever he bought these from probably separated out the star players way back at that time, and they were all in that one box. We went back to him selling cards from the box of star players. So I bought a bunch of stuff from him. A couple nights later, bought some more stuff, as did other people. And eventually I think he was like, okay, I think that's kind of the end of this vintage stuff. So there was still all those boxes of commons left and some of the star players, but I think he was getting kind of like, this is the end of the road for me. I'm going to take a break from selling this vintage. So I suggested, hey, if you want to let it go for the right price, it's mostly commons that you have left, but I'll take them because, 72, 73, 74, and maybe I'll get enough of them. I'll get close to having a full set. And he threw out a number. He put $100, and I said, I don't know. It might be a little bit high for me because I didn't really know what I was getting. I didn't know how many cards. I had a vague idea of the star players that were left in the stars box, but didn't really see the full gamut of what was in there. So it was a little bit of like a blind buy. So I told him I'd think about it. And then a week later, he was running modern stuff, auctions for modern stuff, and I suggested that I would take the stuff if he still had it, but a bit lower. I wanted to pay 50. He suggested 70, and I said it's a deal. So tax, shipping, everything was $81. And when he was showing these boxes, people were like, yeah, those are probably 400 count boxes. So we figured he didn't know how many cards there were. I definitely didn't. And he figured, I'm getting 800 cards, so I'm getting them for like a dime a piece, which I think was pretty good gamble for a lot of commons from 72 to 74 if you want to maybe build a set, and then maybe 100 to 200 star cards from the 70s. I knew there wasn't mantles in there and big giant cards, or I didn't think there was, and there weren't. So anyways, I got them. I sorted through them all. I was gonna do like an opening and not even know what I got for this video, but I decided last night to sort through them. So the box of star cards did have some star cards, which I'll get to, but it also had some commons. I guess what I call commons doesn't always agree with what everybody else calls commons. I probably have some guys that I put in my top loaders and put in my boxes of stars, like with Hall of Famers. Some of them are more borderline. Some I just put rookie cards. So anyways, in the box of star cards, these were what I'm classifying as commons mixed in. Some bunch of different years. There were some 72s in this box, even though there's a whole separate box of 72s. So, Gary Templeton, Bob Boone, a good amount of commons. None of these are Dawson or Murphy that were in the star box. So nothing too exciting. This is like a reprint thing. So got some commons in the star box. Got some, I guess, semi-stars or early cards of some guys that I will put aside and put in my stuff, like an earlier Bob Boone. I kind of have a cutoff of like 76 and before. I'll kind of separate and take out of the commons just because that's before my collecting days. So Dusty Baker, Bob Boone, Bill Buckner, Charlie Huff, rookie, some McCarvers, a bunch of Lou Pinellas. Those were also in the star box. There were 4 non-baseball cards. Magic, Jordan, and a Brett Favre. I looked them up, pretty small dollars on those. I don't know much about values of those sports, even though I have some cards by them. And then these were the rest of the ones in the star box. And again, a bunch of, small dollar-ish stars, I guess. Home run leaders. It's a nice shape. There's a lot of ones in pretty nice shape. And there's a bunch of 77s, and a lot of my 77s from when I was a kid are so beat up. So I'll at least be able to upgrade some things. But these are like Hall of Famers, Sparky Anderson. I alphabetized them. And kind of other stars like Don Baylor. A lot of leaders cards. George Brett's. Lou Brock on leaders. Lou Brock. So a lot of cards that you would probably buy for a few dollars, $5 on eBay maybe. Carew, some Steve Carltons, a couple 76 Gary Carters, which are nice. A lot of 77s, multiples of some of the 77s. These are all still in the star box, not the common box. And Gossages, a Guidry rookie. Some nice Reggies, and condition is up and down on these. Some of these I don't have. That LK line is in horrible shape. I don't even know if I can keep that. Mattingly, some nice McCoveys. A lot of mid to late 70s stuff. A bunch of Jim Palmers. I think I already have like 3 of these 75s. A bunch of Jim Palmer leaders, 77s. Dave Parker. So I figured at this point, maybe, I have a lot of these cards, so I don't know if it was worth my money. It was $81.13 all told. Just for these stars, I mean, I don't know. To some people, that would probably be worth it. Maybe to some people, it's not. I thought it's pretty good, and I got a bunch of comments too. So that was the star box. And then I went through the 72. There's an entire box. These are the 3 boxes here. So I was like, these are not 400 count boxes. So I actually counted all the cards as I went through them. And I think grand total, there was over 1,700 cards in the 3 boxes. So it came out to 4.7 cents a card, which, a lot of commons, but I think if you're trying to build a set and you want to get 1972 or 73 or 74 commons, that's still a pretty good price. So one of them had, says on the side over here, 1972. The other had a bit of 73 and a lot of 74. So those, a lot of the commons are still in there, but even within those commons, there were some possibly future Hall of Famer and current Hall of Famers, not Hank Aaron, not the big names, Don Baylor, not in the Hall of Fame, Vita Blue, not, Burt Blyleven. I think that's a rookie. Chris Chambliss. A bunch of guys that are not in the Hall of Fame here too that I pulled out, but good players. Gil Hodges is in the Hall of Fame, but not, you'd probably get that for $1 on eBay, right? Manager card of Gil Hodges. A couple Fergie Jenkins, Jim Cott. Some Tug McGraws. Oliva, Gaylord Perry. It's that Daryl Porter rookie. Shane Dienst, Ted Simmons, Don Sutton. So, a lot of nice stuff within the commons to me anyways, and some of these are ones I don't have. I collect anything that's a Hall of Famer. I don't have that Dick Williams. It's not an expensive card, but I'm glad I just got it. The 73s were only like 100 and something cards of 73s, but again, some good players that aren't in the Hall of Fame, plus some Hall of Famers. I don't think I have that Necro yet. I have that. So adding to some Hall of Fame guys that I don't have. And then the 74s, there were, 500 and something 74s. Some these Hank Aaron's that are nice, an all-star with Hank Aaron. A lot of the same guys that were in the other set. Blyleven. Brian Downing rookie. Fingers. Here's that Ken Griffey Sr. I don't have that one. Some playoff and World Series cards with Reggie Jackson. Jim Cott. I don't think I have that one. Quite a few small dollar cards that are new to me and a lot of doubles for me. So those are the 74s that I pulled out from the commons. Let's see. Frank White rookie. All-star with Reggie and Billy Williams. And then like I said, this is the 72. These are all commons. There's definitely some duplicates. It's not crazy. There's not like 20 of every guy, but there's some guys with one card. That looks weird and wavy in my camera. There's some guys with one card, some guys with 3 or 4. So we got Bill Russell, bunch of 1972 cards, and that box is still pretty full even after I pulled out those other ones. Same thing, the box on the bottom is 73s and 74s. So I'm gonna go through my 72 to 74 commons that I already had, and I'm gonna have to do what I do when I try to see if I'm close to having a set, put it all in a spreadsheet, figure out what I'm missing, what I have, and I have from my childhood quite a few 74 commons already, so combined with these ones, I might be getting relatively close to the 74 full set, so that's fun to me. I love sorting through, figuring out what I have. There's this many cards in the set, I have this many, put in Excel percent and see what percent I'm at, and then I may pursue getting the whole set. But anyways, that's it. A bunch of maybe $1 to $8 star cards, more or less, and many hundreds of commons from 72 to 74. So I'm pretty happy. I don't know if some people will probably think I got a great deal. Some people will probably think I got ripped off, but I have fun with it and I enjoy the cards. I like looking at even the commons of cards that I didn't have before. So I'm happy I got it. And the guy had these boxes for 10 years and made $80 or $70 right on one spot there. So that's it. See you next time.